you looking me in the eye and saying I'm going to be the one who changes things for my family. You've had a phenomenal year, bro. I've seen you grow tremendously.
It's been a roller coaster, man. Non-stop work, non-stop stress, different geographical locations, hundreds of different people, building a team, moving countries, traveling around, staying in one place, heartbreak.
What would you do differently?
I think looking back, there's so many things that you think you could do differently, but there's no beauty in that.
You were telling me about this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. How has it impacted you? What is the role this book has played in your life?
Turned me into a winner. I would not like to box any individual as a winner or a loser or anything, but it does exist.
You can be the richest person in the world, or you can be the happiest person in the world. What do you choose and why?
It's a tough question to answer, man.
Moksh,
Parmeet,
welcome back on the pod, bro.
thank you so much, man. Always a pleasure being here.
They say third time is a charm.
100%, man. Hopefully we make this one the best one so far.
100%. Every time we do it, it's gonna be hopefully better than the one we did last time.
100%.
So
Newer stories to tell.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you, brother. You're the
It's-
only person third time on the podcast.
Hopefully we make it like 5 more.
Yeah.
But no, it's so good to be here in Dubai and really appreciate you sort of, setting this up and making it happen. I have never been on another podcast outside yours. So yeah, 100%. It's such a pleasure being here.
No, likewise, bro. For context, Moksh has come to Dubai for his birthday, and we'd had a great celebration last night and had a good time, good chats over some nice dinner. It's great to catch up and then decided to record this episode as well, just reflecting back on our journeys on the past year and everything that we've sort of learned and accomplished. Goal would be to share those learnings and, hopefully help someone
100%.
achieve the same sort of growth. You've had a phenomenal year, bro.
It's
So-
been a roller coaster, man. 100%.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been quite a roller coaster, like you said, but I've seen you grow tremendously, not just on the inside, but on the outside as well. So let's reflect back on the year a little bit. What are your thoughts on how it's gone so far?
It's a year that was in the making for, I would say, at least 5 years. It's kind of like you choose the path of self-improvement at some point, and then it's all builds up, right? And then there's 1 year where the external just explodes to another level, and that was this year. Like, I don't feel like internally there's been a lot of growth, but all that growth was sort of compounding over the last 4 years, and then just from the get-go, from Jan through till today as well, it's just been non-stop work, non-stop stress, so many memories, so many different places, locations, people. I've spoken to, I don't know how many, like hundreds of people this year,
Yeah.
and obviously scaled Meteoric as a business to, the heights that it deserves, and obviously is a long way to go. But it's been, different geographical locations, hundreds of different people, building a team, moving countries, traveling around, staying in one place, heartbreak, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and we're just getting started. But that's what the year's been like.
That's beautiful, man. And I've seen all of that firsthand. So I've got a sort of front seat view of your journey. So I'm glad I got to learn from those experiences as well. Anyone who doesn't know, Moksh is the founder of Meteoric. Do you want to introduce it briefly?
Absolutely. So, I'm the founder of Meteoric and at the rate Moksh.Vasant, which is my social profile. So I help founders and wealth creators build, scale, and monetize their personal brands. And Parmeet happens to be one of those founders. But I started this in April this year. So at the start of this year, I was in my final semester of university, and I was also building a platform for international students to connect with, students that dream universities and sort of get some mentorship and guidance from them. And we were, planning to launch this. And at the same time, I was also working in private equity. So it was like a bunch of things that I was doing all together, somehow managing it 7 days a week, kind of like just working every single day.
While finishing uni as
While
well.
finishing uni as well. So it was like very much, I was stretched super thin. And also like maintaining some sort of fitness. So it was like super scattered. But that's what the first 3 months of the year looked like. A lot of learning, a lot of long hours of work. Even working in private equity, I was working under, a seasoned investment banker. and an operator that I got to learn so much from as to like how do processes, how do you actually create processes, how do you document processes, what should your work ethic actually look like, how much attention to detail you need to have, just like being smart about things. So that was really good. And then when I was launching Stu Connect, I had like this pre-launch marketing campaign that I sort of spearheaded, and that was probably one of the craziest marketing campaigns like India has probably ever seen in terms of like the startup ecosystem. 1 million views within the first 5 days of posting. We only posted for 5 days straight. 3,500 followers on Instagram, 3,500 subscribers on YouTube. Venture capital funds reaching out and stuff like that. So it was like a storm that we created. And the one thing that I learned from that experience was that I built a team around the company. And I got I used my marketing brain. I used the right unfair advantages of me and my co-founder sort of to launch that into the market and get that sort of traction. And so that was my first ever. After that, I got so much confidence in the fact that I can actually do this for founders and just in general. I was just like, damn, this is crazy. What I've pulled off here is not just my own effort, because it's different. Obviously you get good at a skill, you get the outcomes, right? But that's just you working on something. When you can put a team together, when you can like explain the vision, when you can motivate, inspire them, and you launch something out in the market and the data reflects that, is when you like viscerally have so much confidence that you can
go on.
So I gained so much confidence around the fact that I can do this, and so then after that, obviously, like my co-founder had to move countries. He was working at somewhere where he had a lot of equity, so that fell apart. And then my private equity internship was coming to an end, and this is around April 14th. So the private equity internship came to an end. I was at this burger place that my boss took me to for like a feedback session / goodbye lunch. It was like really good. Frango's in Sydney. Have you tried?
Yes.
Yeah, Frango's burger is so good, man. So I just, I was sitting with him and he's like, he gave me a bunch of feedback. And that's what I learned. Loved a lot about that internship. It was like super intense. This guy made me work 9 to 9, sometimes 9 to 2 a.m. But he gave me a lot of feedback. This is what's working, this is what's not working. And he had so much confidence in me to the point where he's like, you're a very self-managing person. He just threw things at me. Okay, there you go. This is what you need to figure out. Just go out and do it, right? My money's yours, my credit card's yours, you spend on software, do whatever, but figure it the fuck out. I don't care. And he'll like sit with you till you figure it out. So that was like, and then he would give feedback on it. So it's like, okay, you went through that intense experience, you got that feedback, now you know how to improve. So he gave me that feedback on the last day, few things that were like bad about me, few things that were good about me, few things that I could take away and continue with. And then he's like, okay, what's the plan now? So I was like, I actually don't know. I'm kind of confused. So I'd always thought of, so I was actually building an AI outbound voice agent for him to, cold call people from the HubSpot CRM, potential leads that he could actually acquire using that agent, and it worked perfectly. Like AI could actually converse, and I am I'm a technical retard. I don't know how to do code. I don't know anything, right? So for me, I was like, okay, I'll either build some sort of a AI automation agency, right? Figure it out, hire people, or I'll build some sort of a creative agency, right? The agency model in my head was perfect because I was like, I'm young. What do I need? I want to live a good lifestyle. Obviously, I want to build cash flow, and the best way to do that is through some sort of a service-based business.
You also had a lot of exposure to that agency sort of businesses.
Exactly.
And your growth as a...
even my network, like everyone, a lot of people were running agencies, and I sort of, because when I look at those people and I go, if these guys are doing the numbers that they're doing with agencies, and I look at the person, I go, I'm kind of better than them. Like I can definitely nail this. Like I can do a 10 times better job than that. So I viscerally knew that I could like nail this game. So it was either creative agency or the AI automation agency. I spoke to him about it, and I was like, I've stopped applying to jobs. So I didn't apply to a single job since Feb, because I just went to Australia this time, like being like, I'm gonna figure it out by the time I graduate. I'm gonna do something. I'll just figure it out. I don't know how. Just a leap of faith. Fuck it, we'll figure it out. So he's like, what can you be the best at? Do you want to get into private equity? I can refer you to a bigger fund. But would you make the best analyst, or would you make a great analyst? I was like, I'd obviously make a great analyst, not the best analyst. I've not been financial modeling since I was a kid. So he's like, what can you be the best at then? I was like, you tell me. And he's like, you've been making videos and value propositions on the internet since you were a kid. And you've been doing it for so long. You're really, really good at it. He watched a lot of my content.
Feels like a natural calling.
Exactly. And I was like, that's what I've been thinking about. And I told him a bit about it. And He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Give me some feedback on like the business model that I had in my mind at that point of time. And then that's what like sowed the seeds. He's like, lean into it. And I was like, he's like, where do you want to live? I was like, I don't want to live in Sydney, Australia for a long time. Like I've had my fair share of experiences here. It's been a beautiful city for my growth, for my early years. But I think, the next leap for me is going back to India because there's a bunch of momentum there. And he's like, yeah, please lean into that as well. I think that's a good decision. So that's when I went to my final lecture. This was, I think, this thing happened on Tuesday. Wednesday was my final lecture at uni. I remember going online and I had this calisthenics coaching startup in 2020 called Meteoric. So I went online and I was trying to like think about ideas. And just the night before this Wednesday lecture of mine, because I had so many ideas buzzing in my head, right? And I had to kind of pull it off in 2 months somehow. So I just went on a walk across, the Darlington Road behind Aber.
Yeah.
Just went on that entire road, just kept jotting out ideas. So I like sort of knew what the model would be. And I was just trying to figure out what the name should be like, right? So I go on GoDaddy and I'm trying to like find domains. And I've like searched up, Nirvana Studios and Blank Studios and this and that. And I was like, this all sounds generic. And I was like, why not just Meteoric?
Yeah.
Because I have an emotional connection to it. I feel like energized with the name. Find the domain. I buy the domain. 24th of April, I lose my granddad. I was actually, I read this book called $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi because I was building the offer then. And while I was reading, and then I was actually like just on a Miro board, like putting together the offer, and then I get a call from my family and my granddad's gone. And so that happened again. And then from there, 28th of April, I actually hopped in a call with one of my past mentors, who helps people sort of launch and scale these offers. So I got on a sales call with him, and he ended up like closing me for like a big amount that I didn't have at that time. So I did it like in payment plans. So I was like, I'm gonna pay this guy a certain amount of money right now to help me out, and then the next payment that I have to make, there's no way that I can make that payment if I don't sign 3 clients.
Yes.
Right. So I just put that gun to my head and started building the offer, started working with him closely. The 1 month that followed was kind of just sleeping 9 hours and then working all the other hours. So 9 hours of sleep and then working, and then hitting the gym like thrice a week. So that's all I did, just lock myself in a room. Sydney winters, you know how it gets. And by June 8th, obviously you sign on as the first client, and there was one of my best friends, Aryan, that signed on as a client, and then one person that reached out to me through Instagram that signed on as a client. So those were my first 3 clients. Then I moved back home, right? It was like the crazy transition.
Yeah.
And then it was the actual pressure where it's like, okay, now I have 3 clients. What do I do? Like how do I I need to set the client journey from here. So bunch of ideas, figuring things out. I got my first ops manager in place, COO. So one of the people from the Stu Connect team.
Shout out Aditya.
He's probably going to be watching this. So he just reached out to me that, hey, I would love to be a part of this. And then I hopped on a call with him. We negotiated an agreement, and then he was part of the team. He learned on the fly. We spent a lot of time together. And then, from 3 clients to now, I think like somewhere around 35 clients.
Yes.
And really, really scaling fast. Like within 4.5 months, no, not 4.5, 5.5 months, we crossed 6 figures in rev. As a company, we've got like 4 people and 1 intern right now.
Yeah.
And we've delivered some insane client results, and overall the brand's completely changed, pivoted, and it's just turned 22 yesterday. Came here to Dubai, and the city's actually opened up a lot of my horizons. Like I love the way it just opens your horizons up, makes you dream big, and it was a good experience yesterday. So that's what the last few months have looked like. But yeah,
it's definitely a city of dreamers, Dubai. But going back to your year, it's definitely been a crazy journey. Looking back, we've had several conversations on this, so I'm pretty sure like you did not foresee it going the way that it did.
Yeah.
But that's been amazing, man. I think it's been in the making since a long time. As like you said, you've had a passion for making videos, and you've been doing that for a lot of time, and without any apparent result or outcome, or you weren't getting anything out of it. You were just doing it for the love of the
100%.
craft.
Yeah.
And you know how they say the person who likes walking will always walk further than the person who's walking to the destination.
That's true.
So you were doing it because you loved doing it, not because you had a destination in mind.
Yeah.
And over time that compounded in the most unexpected way.
Yeah.
And one opportunity came up. You were doing Stew Connect, and then I know about your internship as well. And then your grandfather passed away, who you were really close to, who lived with you as well, back in Jamnagar, India. And then Meteoric started. I still remember a week before you left for India for good. We met for coffee.
Yeah, that was the most unexpected conversation ever. Yeah.
Yes, and you shared your plans with me. I was like, man, I want to jump on. I want to support you. I see you're great at this. You're very passionate, and yeah, I think it'll be a great synergy. And we went on from there. And I've seen your journey unfold from day one within the realm of Meteoric, and I've seen firsthand the impact that you've created as well. Kudos to you. It's a great community, so diverse, people coming from all fields and industries, and this is just the start. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you, man.
What would you do differently? One thing that you would do differently in this journey, what would that be for you?
Do differently? I would actually not do anything differently. Honestly, like I think looking back, there's so many things that you think you could do differently.
Yeah.
But there's no beauty in that. Like, I mean, there's no point thinking about it because it's already gone. You are who you are today because of the experience you've lived already, and it's the past. So I don't think about that.
What would you do differently going forward? What is something you learned that you would apply in the next year coming forward, 2026?
For sure. So I think this year's been very much fight or flight, and that's meant like probably like my skin's at the worst right now. And that's purely because like cortisol levels are all over the place, stress is all over the place. Last month and a half that I was in Mumbai, I like really prioritized recovery, sleeping well, having a rock solid routine. I think that's like the next biggest unlock for me. Obviously, I've made huge progress from where I was in August, September, and October. I was genuinely like my circadian rhythm was the craziest free flow on earth. It still is, but at least I'm getting my hours in, getting my recovery in. But so much stress, just working non-stop, around the clock, not getting workouts in, not eating well, not sleeping well, nothing. Like I was just on the fly. And the thing is, what happens is when you realize that momentum is very like exhilarating, right? And momentum is addicting at the same time. And when you make progress through that momentum, you sort of latch onto it. But it's like, okay, I will only make progress when I'm all over the place and I have that momentum going for me, right? But also knowing for a fact that you have to create flow in your life through structures and through routines. So the next biggest unlock for me, 100% going into Jan, it's definitely going to happen is a consistent sleep schedule, a consistent calendar, a consistent idea of what I'm going to work on, when I'm going to work on it, and just planning things beforehand in advance, and just being more of a CEO than just a founder. So that's the biggest unlock for me next year. Not just and then that's obviously from like a work standpoint, but on a personal standpoint, I definitely want to be in my best physical shape. It's genuinely like something that I've gone through multiple transformations in my life, and I feel like every time you go through a transformation, you unlock a new self. And right now, very much I do want to get really physically fit. So that's my biggest unlock.
I've noticed that as well. It's just focusing on the daily mundane things over and over and over again, and people get it wrong that you're not taking away any spontaneity or any sort of unknown element out of it. It's just that you're setting up parameters in a way wherein the movement you make is going to be in that direction, and the inspiration that unfolds will be within that direction, right? If you open yourself up to anything and everything without parameters, you're just susceptible to different energies, different people, without any boundaries. So that definitely takes you for a ride. You explore a lot, you learn a lot, but there is very minimal growth. But that's setting true. That discipline and just moving across that, doing the daily mundane stuff over and over again, sleeping at the same time, waking up at the same time, eating the same foods, doing the same similar workouts again and again and again and again. It's really boring, but that is what
creates the change.
Yes, it builds a strong foundation wherein you can, as you say, slingshot from there.
For sure.
So, man, that's been my focus as well as I'm growing older and older, just being more intentional and disciplined and focusing on the single biggest factor that impacts every other aspect of my life, which is health.
100%.
Because if you're healthy and you can be yourself fully and show up for yourself fully, that's what you can give to other people.
That's true.
And the relationships you have with others, be it places or people or situations, is only a reflection of your state of body and mind
100%.
in that sort of time. And I think you understand this really well, and feel like that's what's going to really unlock the next level of growth from here, which again, we don't know what it's going to be, but we know which identity is going to unlock it.
Yeah, I have like a visual like idea of what that person looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's very much when you are, obviously this is from the, you know, the business point of view and like monetary point of view. When you're not there, you can hold that as a crutch, especially when you're young, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right now I want to make money first, and then I'll figure everything out, right? And so say for example, I'm unfit, right? And someone comes to me and they go, okay, I'm unfit, but if I'm not successful with my business, with my finances, then I can just go, okay, first I'll focus on this, and once that's done, I'll focus on my health and stuff. And that's a crutch, right? But once you've solved for the first bit, right? Once you solve for the monetary aspect of things, then you have no crutch to hold on to. Then life just shows you a mirror, right? Whether it's your personal dating life, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships with people, whether it's your moral character, it all just comes to you, and you just, now the only thing that drives me is becoming that person. I'm not setting a single, I know for a fact, for the next year, I'm not setting a financial goal for myself. It's very much, what person do I need to be to get to that next level? And it's just the way I want to live life, for sure.
Because that financial aspect and the result you generate in terms of revenue or growth for your company is just going to be a result of you.
100%.
Right? Your identity, how you perceive yourself. And I think like the growth and journey so far is also a reflection of your self-belief, which I want to sort of segue into next, wherein you had been trying for obviously a lot of years with, I've seen your videos from the age of 13, 14, 15, I can't remember the age.
14.
Somebody goes and scrolls down to your YouTube page and goes back, you're this chubby kid, cute chubby kid vlogging, who I assume must have faced a lot of bullying or a lot of commentary and judgment and whatnot, but you still continued and kept doing that and doing that and doing that. But there was something that really shifted. And I really sensed this when we had gone to Bondi and we ran for a half marathon.
Yeah.
And towards the end of that half marathon, we were at 17, 18K, and we were just resting and having a gel. It was you, me, and Vincent was there as well, another friend. And you were telling me about this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, and I remember this very vividly, you looking me in the eye and saying, I'm going to be the one who changes things for my family.
Yeah, 100%.
And the conviction you said that with was what motivated me to pick up that book as well.
Yeah.
And it's, this book can literally change lives. How has it impacted you? What is the role this book has played in your life, and how did that sort of, brought you down to the trajectory that you are on now?
Absolutely, man. That's a really good question. So I remember that moment vividly. So Psycho-Cybernetics, I would say, turned me into a winner, right? And as much as, I would not like to box any individual as a winner or a loser or anything, but it does exist. Certain people that set their mind to something, they get there. And certain people that set their mind to something don't get there. And that's the difference between someone who has a winner's mentality compared to someone who's not in that winner's mentality. And the book is just, it rewires your brain to be a winner.
Yeah.
You get to the end of the book and you have all the tools that you need to win and to visualize and to creatively create the future that you want to get to. Now, Psycho-Cybernetics, whatever I said to you that day about the family side of things, so after that, I faced exactly that year in December, the most turmoil I have from a family relationship standpoint.
That's what happens before change.
Exactly. That's what happens before change. And touch wood, now everything's superb, solid. Have the best relationship I've had with my parents for the longest time. So that's all sorted. But the book basically, what it teaches you is that, you're a bicycle, right? And the only way a bicycle can stay in equilibrium is if it's moving towards something. So in life, when do we actually get the most depressed and the most, in our own head? When we're not creatively working towards a version of ourselves that we've envisioned, right? We're not striving to be something, right? And that is the most important thing, because it's not even, and people say that, okay, that means you're living in the future. But I really doubt that. I don't think you're living in the future. If you have an idea of where you want to get to, and you already are that person today, you're going to actually get to that level, right? But every single day that you're living as if you're that person in the moment, very much present.
And your circumstances will reflect that.
Very soon,
eventually.
Exactly. And it goes into so many things, you shouldn't hold baggage from the past. How do you heal past memories of like failure or of like bruises, mental bruises? How do you actually heal those? How do you actually let them go? Then it gives you like a bunch of tools and exercises and meditation practices that help you visualize that future for yourself. And it also goes into like the success type personality, and it also goes into the failure type personality. And these are all just traits that the failure type traits you just want to let go of. Which failure would be like fear, anger, uncertainty. There's like
focusing on your failures more than focusing on the journey.
And then success type is obviously like all the other ingredients that go into it, but confidence and self-confidence, stuff like that. So it's a really good book. I would actually recommend anyone to read that book, any domain you're in. It's a book that's like genuinely going to change your life. A book that I'm reading right now, actually, in the inner game of tennis. It's very similar to Psycho-Cybernetics, but it's way more advanced, but not advanced in a neuroscience way. It's actually just a tennis book.
Uses tennis as a context to build those same principles.
It's actually just a book made for tennis players. Like if you read that book,
but you can apply it.
You can apply it anywhere. And so that book goes into something very interesting, which is obviously we have judgments and feedback for ourselves. So Psycho-Cybernetics goes into like positive and negative feedback, right? But in a game of tennis goes into zero feedback. So it's like, okay, if someone's backswing it's too high, right? And this person's gone to 4 pro coaches, and all the 4 pro coaches are telling that person, your backswing's too high, fix it this way, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, right? But that person's just not able to fix their backswing. Now they go to this pro coach who's actually written the book, The Inner Game of Tennis. I don't know his name, I forgot. Right? But what this guy does is literally just takes a huge mirror, puts it in front of the person, and then just gets him to start shooting, right? And then he actually sees that the backswing is high, and he goes, oh, my backswing's actually high, right? Why did he say that? Because he probably never actually knew that his backswing is high. He just got told by people that your backswing is high, and he probably had an idea, but he didn't actually see what the backswing looked like. And he just saw it, right? And what you want to do in that point is, you don't want to get angry, right? Or you don't want to get upset. You just literally are just curious, oh shit, my backswing is actually high. That's interesting, right? And then you try just flowing through the shots, right? You try to don't even try to fix your backswing. Just see someone visually. Maybe it's your the pro tennis coach. Do a proper, proper shoot of what do you call it? A forehand, right? A proper forehand. And when you see a proper forehand, you're visually seeing what a good forehand looks like. And then that just registers a memory in your head.
That.
And then you just start shooting yourself. And don't tell yourself anything. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, just like literally just flow through with the racket, through the ball, do your forehands, do a few shots, and eventually you will have a perfect forehand, right? And when you have a perfect forehand, don't give yourself kudos, right? And if you end up messing up, don't give yourself negative feedback. Right? You're just flowing. You just have a perfect forehand, and I think that is the most important thing that anyone can adopt in life. And me specifically at this point of time, like I told you about like the fine that I had to pay this morning, right? Which is a pretty hefty fine, but I'm not sad about it. Neither am I happy about it, right? I'm just flowing through life. It happened. I take my lesson out of it, and we move, right? And that's the most powerful thing someone can do when you're. So it's like frequency, right? At the end of the day, it comes down to like what mental frequency are you at? If your frequency is going this way, like you're not going to be materially successful as well, right? Because if you're like too attached to the highs, then you're going to be super low, right? But if I'm at a steady frequency through and through, the highs and lows keep coming, that's the most powerful state you can be in. Because regardless of what happens, you, in your own, viscerally, you're just steady. So that's what the book goes into. So Inner Game of Tennis is also a book I would recommend someone, but I would actually get them to read Psycho-Cybernetics first, for sure.
Yeah, I think it really goes into the fundamentals of how we have this inner sense of longing and direction towards a goal, but what stops us is our own inner critic and feedback of the failures. Everything in life, from rockets, from planes, and pretty much every mechanism is achieved through countering negative feedback. So you judge your position, and if you're not moving in the right direction, you adjust, and then you see again, is it the right direction? You adjust. You keep adjusting until you are moving in the right direction. But you don't sit and cry about why that adjustment is needed or why you are moving in the wrong direction in the first place. And this is what I see the difference between successful people and failures as well. One uses the same conditions to use that as a reason to pursue success.
That is true.
And the others use the same conditions
to not
use that as a reason to fall victim to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And reinforce that identity of failure over and over again.
100%.
Their circumstances and their conditions don't change. It's fundamentally their perception and mentality towards it.
Yeah.
And that is the winners between winners and losers as well.
That's true.
You both will essentially have the same journey. It's just about, are you more focused on the end goal?
Yeah.
Or are you more focused on getting every stroke right as well? Like, I don't know if it was Roger Federer who gave the speech wherein I think he only had like 56% of game-winning shots. But he's consistently done that over and over and over again. That's what brings the results in.
True.
So I think this insight gives you a different perspective to look at your failures successfly.
Yeah.
And every failure is just a step closer to your goal.
Yeah.
I think today, because everything is so public and it's on social media and we have so many eyes on ourselves, we get consumed in that cycle of self-judgment, which then cripples us from taking the next action towards that goal. And a winner is only someone who chose to try again after they failed, right? So it's not like they haven't failed. They probably failed more than anyone else. It's just that they decided to go again and 100%. Again and again. And everyone's like that. Like, your journey is also a reflection of that. You've been trying since the age of 14, 15. And you tried again and again and again and again and again. And where you are today, you couldn't have possibly foreseen that 5-10 years ago.
Man,
right? But there's this innate calling that, okay, you have not like, you know where you want to go, but you're just content with the direction that you're moving in, and you keep sort of pressing on that again. So it's been great, man. And I think reading that book for myself as well helped me get out of that loop of criticizing yourself. I think when people fail as well, they say you should learn from your failures and stuff. If you failed, like, naturally you will have some awareness and insights from it, right? And that is enough for you to go and try again, right? But you sort of overthinking about that again and again and again instills that identity of failure in you.
That is true, yeah.
And you will get addicted to those emotions. And subconsciously you will, no matter how much you try to achieve success consciously, subconsciously your identity is locked up within that loop.
Yeah, you're in reverse mode. You're not in drive mode.
Exactly, you're in reverse mode. You are your biggest obstacle in
true.
a way. That's why mindset plays such a
It's the biggest thing, man. It's the biggest thing. That's why, and I want to like really like double tap and zoom into something you said, right? Like trying, like a winner just tries again. But trying is actually action, right?
Yes.
So there's
not
so many
good action, not bad action.
Just action. Raw action.
Raw action.
And there's so many people that are smarter than, you pick the most successful people in the world, sports, athletes, whether it's business, whether it's anything. there's 10 times smarter people than those. And we've seen it time and time again, right?
Yeah.
The smart person can see 10 steps ahead and convince himself that he shouldn't take that course of action because he knows exactly what the consequential events are going to be, right? Or at least he thinks he knows it. The person that can't actually think 10 steps ahead is the person that just is like, okay, let me just fuck around and find out. Let me take this action.
Live from a place of delusion, which is a superpower.
Exactly, pure delusion. I'll just make it happen. If it doesn't, and you take action and it doesn't actually go towards what you delusionally imagine, you're like, okay, like what do I do actually to get to that delusion imagination of mine, right? How do I actually get to there?
Yeah.
And the only way to do it is like try again. And by trying so many times, there's so much repetition that goes into it. There's so much volume that goes into it.
For you.
It's impossible to fail, man. Like, and even if you fail at that particular one thing that you're trying, those things, those experiences and those skills are there to stay with you. They're the part of your war chest, right? Compared to the person that thinks he knows what's going to happen 10 steps ahead, but you're not actually accounting for the factor that life is uncertain.
Yeah.
The only way to know what the next 10 steps are is to take those 10 steps and let it reveal itself. Right, and always being in this exploration mode and just taking action to see, okay, it's kind of like you going out for a run, man, right? I can look at, say for example, I have to run in Dubai tomorrow. I'll be like, okay, I know exactly what the palm is going to look like and I'll have to run through it, right? But when I actually go out and run through it, I'll probably see, okay, maybe like my nose feels blocked because there's too much sand over here. Or I'll be like, oh damn, it's a beautiful view, I smell the water over here. Oh damn, I never thought I was gonna look at this this cafe over here. I never thought I was gonna meet this beautiful woman over here, right? You never know. Like you have to take the action and and take the scenic route and go on that exploration mode.
I think it comes from a place of survival where the mind is trying to put certainty around your future, and by those means just repeat the same behaviors of the past. But there's way more you don't know than you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what over smart people sort of naturally, subconsciously put constraints around themselves, and that sort of reflects in their circumstances as well. Alex Hormozi describes this phenomena in a very simple but profound way, wherein you have a certain goal. Maybe it's 10 tries away, maybe it's 1,000 tries away, maybe it's 10,000 tries away.
Yeah.
You for sure know that it's there, it is achievable. It's not impossible, right? So it's only a matter of not if it's possible or not, it's only a matter of how many tries away it is.
Yeah.
And trying doesn't cost money, right? So every time you try, it's like, okay, if I have to go 10,000 reps, every rep is bringing you closer to that.
That's true.
Right? So just focusing on that end goal and just thinking from like a failure is just a step closer towards success.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
And just having that mentality gives you the ability to then take another step and another step and another step. And every step makes you more and more motivated to take another one because you're getting closer and closer and closer.
That end outcome.
And you can viscerally feel it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can really like feel it. Just taking away that subconscious voice of criticism and just our mind clinging to certainty really
Makes
unlocks a lot of things that you can't possibly imagine or foresee, but that's where the beauty lies. Or if you could already see the journey, then you're only shooting within the realm of your imagination, which is very limited. Right? And there is no greatness in achieving the things that you already know how to achieve. Those are like Bob Proctor says, type A, type B, and type C goals. So if you already know what you want to achieve, there is no learning in that. Learning comes from uncertainty and stepping into the unknown and then finding resilience in that and moving forward. That's where actual growth lies.
100%.
And learning lies. So, and he says as well, goals are not to get, goals are to grow. So set goals that will put you outside your comfort zone and certainty and what you can imagine. Because when you step in that unknown environment, you find new ways of being, which then contributes to a lot of learning and growth and unlocks bigger and bigger levels of imagination. And I'm just seeing that I'm learning to tap more and more into that uncertainty, right? because you only know so much.
Yeah.
So there's so much out there that is, there for us to explore and attain.
Yeah.
It just requires a regulated nervous system
100%.
and just a willingness to move without judging yourself.
Yeah, true. Regulated nervous system is like the most important.
It's the biggest one, because I feel like when your nervous system is not regulated, when you're living in fight or flight or survival, your emotions, your thoughts, and your feelings are within the realm of that survival. So you can grow, but it will be out of like pressure.
Fear, stress.
Stress, and that growth isn't really growth. It breaks you inside. But when you're moving into that uncertainty with a regulated nervous system, in rest and recovery mode, the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions are expansive. They're open. You're willing to learn more. You are in a frame of mind to accept that growth. Which only comes from that. In survival, you'll always live in fear. The decisions you make will be very reflective of that as well, and that cannot lead to much.
Abundance is the real key, right? Like when you're fearful, you're operating out of scarcity.
Yes.
And when you're abundant, you're just a magnet, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It comes to me. Things come to me. I don't have to go for it.
Exactly. Yeah. You be who you are, and things you attract them.
100%.
If once you are vibrating at that frequency, it's the law. Like, it's not above anyone or below. That's just the law of nature. What you are, you attract who you are, and whatever your energy and vibration is, you will attract the same sort of frequency of people or places or opportunities.
True.
And it sounds woo-woo to a lot of people because we live in a materialistic world, but that's just reality. There's a lot of things that you can't see with your two eyes because our vision is very limited as well. But energy exists, frequency exists, and it rules so many things in our lives. So it's only going to benefit people looking more into that and tapping into that.
100%.
Going off of that, Wiser is all about helping people realize their limitless potential using the power of their mind. I think the power is their biggest asset, or can be your biggest liability. And using that in the best way possible can help you achieve so much, right? So what does it mean for you to be limitless?
It is everything. And I actually have someone that is helping me out with my mindset, right? And that's the only mentor that I'm taking forward into 2026. Right? That's the only person I'm actually paying to mentor me, right? Not a business coach, not a health coach. It's a mindset coach, because it's everything. If you genuinely think that and believe that you can do whatever you can set your mind to, you will. But it's just a matter of not going round and round in your own head, and just being very certain that you are that person. That's it. That's all that it takes, right? And that is exactly what these modalities of like what you preach at Wiser, which is like meditation, breath work, recovery, ice, right? What does it actually do? It just regulates your frequency, your mental frequency, and when you're operating at the right mental frequency, everything is possible. And it's also like going through what are your current thought patterns, what needs to be audited, what needs to be changed. It's a whole process. You go to the doctor tomorrow, you don't just go okay, like just give me a pill and fix me. It does not work that way. There's a diagnosis into it. There's a protocol that's involved there. It's a longer horizon. It takes time. If your mentality's been shit for a while, it will take some time to actually rewire the brain. At least 21 days. That's what it takes, right? But it's 100% everything. Mentality is everything.
And that's so true. And limitless is not about something you achieving or you having something. It's the source of who you are, how you perceive things, what are the thoughts, feelings, and actions you take within that. Because how you think, how you act, and how you feel makes up your personality, and that dictates your personal reality. Right? So everything that you see around you and how you perceive it is based on your thoughts and feelings. So you are the source of the reality that you create. So if you have that mindset of abundance and one without limitations and one without the programming and conditioning that you have experienced in your early days, if you have the ability to look beyond that mental construct, that is nothing but something that has been repeated over time in environment. If you have the ability to look beyond that, you can open up an abundance of opportunities for you, and it can change your circumstances fundamentally from that. But it all starts from within.
Yeah, right? the having like genuinely feeling abundant within, which is everything.
And you will know.
Yeah,
you will know that feeling. You will know that energy.
Yeah,
and it comes and goes because life comes and goes in waves. And obviously, your nervous system is also obviously moving through a wave throughout your day, which is also locked up based on how you grew up and how your upbringing was. But you have the ability to change that through breath work, through conscious breathing, through meditation. Taking power of your attention is everything in this day and age. And that's how you can really use your conscious brain to program your subconscious brain. And that's where the real power lies. Because 95% of your thoughts and your habits are subconscious. They're beyond your conscious awareness. So you cannot use 5%. If 95% is going against the 5%, you will never be able to change. But you can use that 5% to slowly rewire the 95%. And when they match and they sync up and they're aligned, like, you unlock different levels of opportunities.
100%.
And I'm seeing that with you. So it's incredible, man.
No, man, it's also like having the right frequency around you, right? Like the conversations, if
that matters a lot.
That's everything at the end of the day. So if I'm surrounded by individuals like yourself, it's a lot easier to tap into that frequency. Because when someone else is in scarcity, right, you speak to them and you yourself are gonna like quickly it's a gear.
You pick up on
shift.
Energy.
Yeah. It's a gear shift. So.
And no matter where you are, like, you will pick up on that energy, and you can't see it physically, but it's literally like it can be measured.
Your aura.
It goes like up to 2 meters wide from your body. So, and it makes a huge difference. I think the easiest way to change is just surrounding yourself with the right people, and the hardest way is to surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Because if you're within that energy, then you don't even consciously have to do anything. Subconsciously, you will pick up on that energy, and over time, that will change your subconscious brain and rewire your thought patterns.
Navar Ravikant says, right, like the most important decision you'll ever make is who you surround yourself with and where you live.
Exactly.
You're going to feel a certain way in one particular city. You're going to feel a certain way in another particular city. One particular city, you might feel like growth is just natural. It's like the thing that happens. And one city, you might just feel like, shit, like, why am I working against so much friction? And the same is with like your surroundings, right? Certain people, when you're with, you just feel like, oh, yeah, it's easy. We'll get it, right? And then certain people, you're like, say, for example, you're on a run and I'm running with Parmeet, for example. He's not going to flinch with like a 10 km run like this. What's the 10 km run for you, right? We'll be running together, and it's a natural thing. You're going to get to that finish line. No panting, no getting out of breath. Just steady pace, get to the end, done. Overall, going to do it again next day probably, right? If I'm running with someone who's not, run more than thrice, and it's their first ever 10-kilometer run,
that impacts you as well.
That person crying at the 5 km mark or the 3 km mark will slow me down, and then will just make me feel like, oh, why the run's actually tough. It isn't. It's just perception.
It's perception. Everything is perception. No, that's so true, man. And we've seen that time and time again. It just requires a little bit of awareness, and you can notice that in your life in different situations. Just to end this podcast, I want to ask you a question that I have been contemplating in my life, subconsciously for the most part, and very consciously in the recent few years, which is, you have two options. Either you can be the richest person in the world, or you can be the happiest person in the world. What do you choose and why?
Both of them. Because I think one doesn't live without the other. At least
I disagree.
In my reality, richest person on the earth, I wouldn't want to be.
Would you say the happiest person in the world is the richest person in the world? I don't think so. And is the richest person in the world the happiest person in the world?
Pure financials and pure this thing?
Yeah, just joy of being.
And I have to pick one out of the two.
Because I feel like both are contradictory in a way. You can't have both. You can be rich and be happy. but happiest and
richest,
cannot fundamentally come the same way, because one is very locked up in your spirituality and the other one's very locked up in the material reality. So if you're chasing one, you will need to be very materialistic in your doings and how you perceive things, which has a very detrimental effect on your sense of being, because you are stuck up in that roller coaster of positive and negative feedback and trying to constantly improve and improve and improve. But happiness is not a state of having something, it's a state of not wanting something. You know what I mean? Lack of desire is what makes you happy. When you have a desire, creates lack, and then you do everything that you do to remove that lack. So I feel like the happiest person in the world is not the richest person in the world, and the richest person in the world is not even happy. They're probably miserable. Like most of them are.
It's like such a like black and white answer though, right? Like I feel like to get to the plane of even like understanding your mentality, understanding spirituality, there's a barrier to entry, and this is something that most people would disagree with me on, but it's like you can't be spiritual unless you've solved for the financial. It's just the way it is.
It's the base.
It's the base. And you and actually I would say like,
but financial doesn't need to be richest. You can solve for the financial. If you're 100 to 100k, like you can live pretty comfortably. Right. And then those contemplative questions do come into play, where you're questioning life, you're questioning your purpose, you're questioning calling, so on and so forth. So solving for finance doesn't necessarily need to be getting to 1 billion or 100 billion or whatever it may be. It can, as long as your bases are covered, food, shelter, resources, your social standing, somewhat your status within your social circle. I think you solve for the finance. After that, it just comes from a sense of, I think it's different for everyone, so I don't want to say anything.
So would you say if I'm the happiest person in the world, am I rich or am I not rich?
You're rich.
Okay. Financially.
Well, that depends on you, but it depends how you measure richness. But financially, it wouldn't matter.
Okay, fair enough.
It wouldn't matter.
That's a tough question to answer, man. I would probably say happiest person in the world, because at the end of the day, there's like a finite few years you want to live, right? And I would, if I'm the richest person in the world but I'm miserable, I wouldn't want to.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, there's no point. I mean, at the end of the day, what is? If I look at the past year, it's time, but what it's painted with is memories, right? Time is nothing but like
set of memories.
And that's the most richness I've taken away from the year, right? Which is the whole journey.
That's what you remember.
Yes.
Those experiences.
For sure.
Not how much money you have in your bank account.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what really makes you rich in life.
100%.
Beyond the materialistic means.
So, nice. Yeah, for sure.
And there's no right or wrong answer to this, and there's no solid sort of answer for this. This is something that we obviously keep contemplating throughout life, but just wanted to instill that seed of nugget and question within you that can certainly change and impact the frame of mind we use to make our decisions and henceforth the circumstances that it leads to. So it's something that I really think about a lot, and it gives me a lot of clarity per se.
For sure.
Because we can also be very impacted and influenced by other people's expectations of us, predominantly family and friends, and then obviously society. But their expectation of reality and their expectation of what they want in life and their goals is very different from you. But it's just a natural thing for humans to like project it onto other people, but it's important for us to find our own truth.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
These contemplative questions really help with that.
And that finding your own truth is like the thing, right? I mean, there is no truth.
There is no truth. It's your
it's your truth.
Yeah, fundamentally. It's been amazing, my brother.
Likewise, man.
Thank
what
you
a
so
conversation.
much. It's always eye-opening and valuable talking to you.
Likewise.
And learning from you. I hope everyone who's joined us enjoyed the conversation as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Until next time. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hi guys, it's Parmeet. I just wanted to touch on this quickly. Over 80% of you guys listening are not subscribed to the show. The more subscribers we have, the easier it becomes for us to share this message with as many people as possible. You never know whose life it can change. So please hit the subscribe button and thank you for watching.